All right, everyone. Today we're going to learn about the Age of Exploration. This is the time period in history when people from Europe, such as Spain, Italy, Portugal, England, would travel across the oceans to explore different parts of the world and to try to get new resources. Um, the expectation as we go through this PowerPoint is you fill in the blanks on the Word document associated with the PowerPoint. Teachers that are helping implement this PowerPoint, if you need to pause after each slide, I will mention that this is the end of the slide. You can pause it as students fill in the blank. So here we go. Why did people go exploring? Why did people from Europe try to explore other places such as America, such as India, such as Australia, and places like that? Whenever we want to know about this, we want to think about this thing called the 3 Gs, okay? The 3 Gs. The 3 G stands for God, glory, and gold. So if I ask you why did people explore during this time, you should think about the 3 Gs, and those are God, glory, and gold. As you can see, the underlined words here are where you would be filling in the blanks, so you should be typing in 3 Gs and then the words God, glory, and gold. Teachers, if you need to pause, you can pause right here for a second. Okay, so let's talk about gold or money. This is a pretty easy thing to understand. Many people from Europe wanted to find as much gold to help their country become super rich. For instance, people founded America looking for gold, looking for money. The more money you have, the more powerful and rich you become. All right. So when I talk about gold, it's to help their country become rich. Teachers, you can pause. The next is glory. All right. During this time, there was a lot of poverty in Europe. There's a lot of people who did not have a lot of resources. They were not making money. They were not very famous, not really well liked. But if you go over to a new country and find a new land, you could become super famous. You can become rich and get more money, and you can become popular. One person you can think about is Christopher Columbus. All right. In America, Christopher Columbus is even celebrated by a day. He is very famous. If Christopher Columbus just stayed in Spain and never went exploring, do you think he would become as famous as he is today? Probably not. So this whole glory thing is something that a lot of explorers looked for. They wanted to become famous. Teachers, you can pause. The last one is God. Okay, and this one's a little more difficult for people to understand. But during this time in Europe, most people believed in one God. Okay, they were some form of Christian, where they believed in one God, and that's it. But across the world, for an example, in the United States, um, there was the Native Americans who believed in many gods, not one God at all. So these people in Europe thought that their religion was much better. So what they tried to do was they tried to go to new lands so they could spread their religion. So they would go to, say, the United States, they would talk to these Native Americans, and then they would convince them to say that your religion is not good, we want you to follow our religion. And they start spreading Christianity across the world. Teachers, you can pause. So what happens after these explorers get here? So if you think of Christopher Columbus, right, he founded the Americas, which was actually the Bahamas. Does he stay in the Bahamas? No, he really does not. He goes back to the his he worked for Spain. He went back to Spain, and then he would go explore and try and find other countries. Once he would come and find a new land, people from Spain or from England would follow him, and then they would start to settle and start to create civilizations or towns or cities, eventually countries in that new land. Oftentimes, these people left their country and left their country because things were bad there. Say they were poor, all right, or they were attracted to this new place because maybe they were promised gold. So maybe someone would leave their country because they didn't have any money, but they heard in the new world in the United States they can find gold and they can get rich. These things are called push and pull factors. So reasons why people would leave one place and go to another could be they're being pushed away from their homeland or they're being pulled to their homeland. Or sorry, pulled to a new land. Teachers, you can pause. So let's go more in depth on push factors. Okay, once again, these are things that push people away from their home countries. All right, some examples, and there's also there's a lot more you could probably find out, are no jobs. So say your parents don't have any jobs or you don't have a job, you're going to try and find a new place to get a job. Poverty, if you're poor, maybe you'll have a better chance of making money somewhere else. Maybe where you're at is being destroyed by war or crime. When I taught in Houston, a lot of my students had immigrated from Guatemala and Mexico and Honduras because the crime there in their home countries was very, very high and it was not safe. Sometimes people would leave because of a drought, which means they can't grow crops, and maybe there's just no education there. So these are all things that would push them away from where they live. Teachers, you can pause. And then let's talk about pull factors. Okay, these are things that pull or attract people to a new country. In class, I would show this video, A Bug's Life. If you've ever seen the movie A Bug's Life, there's these bugs that are looking at a bug zapper, and the bug zapper keeps attracting them in. They're like, stay away from the light, and he says, I can't, and he goes and gets zapped. So that bug zapper is attracting those bugs in to kill them. Here, a pull factor is something that attracts people to a new country. So here it could be that there are new jobs, all right, or more jobs. It's safer than where they're at. There's no crime, there's no war. Once again, with the crime and war stuff, I have a friend from college named Dino. He grew up in a country called Bosnia. His family moved to the United States because it was safer. When he was growing up, when he was your guys' age, he came to America because there was a civil war in Bosnia and people he knew, his relatives and friends, were being killed. Maybe there'll be lots of food in the new land. Maybe there's fertile land so you can grow crops. Maybe there's better education. Maybe you have family and friends there as well. So these are all things that pull or attract people to a new country. Teachers, you can pause. So just a quick refresher here. You have push and pull factors. Once again, push factors are things that push you away, such as no jobs, natural disasters. Maybe there was like a hurricane that destroyed your place. Maybe there's war, there's no food, there's no jobs, there's no money. And then pull factors are things that attract you or pull you in. Maybe you have a better access to jobs or school.
Thank you.
So once again, push people away from home countries. Pull factors attract them to new countries. And remember, prior to that, why did people explore? Think of the 3 Gs: God, glory, and gold. That's it for today. Thank you.